The Dictator's Wife by Freya Berry, published by Headline Review, and this is a novel of a dictator's wife, and it is set in a fictional Ostblock country which is called Yanussia, but it kind of plucks inspiration from all kinds of countries and from all kinds of dictators and despots that, have gone through history. So it's a very interesting amalgam of quite a lot of things. Laura Lazarescu is part of Marija Popa's defence team. Now, Marija Popa is the woman who is living in a good sense of richness, but she is standing trial for perceived crimes. Her husband, who was the actual dictator, died in 1989 when liberation took place across Eastern Europe, and he died a very horrible death at the hands of a howling mob. She is passing blame to him that, she was very much an innocent party. Laura, her parents fled Yanussia, and therefore it's quite an interesting choice that she decides to go and be part of this team to look after her interests. Her parents are pretty upset by her doing this, and her boyfriend also says, once you're in her thrall, you'll be manipulated, you will be sucked into her story. I mean, for me, I always think it's very interesting when lawyers have to defend someone who is so clearly, guilty. That must take quite some coming to terms with, but I guess everybody needs and deserves a defence. Laura's mother has been very tight-lipped about why they really left Yanussia, and gradually, she hopes to find out a bit more about her mother's story because, she feels a part of her is really missing as part Yanussian. So this is also her opportunity to maybe just do her own investigations and see if she can come up with what her own family history is. Meanwhile, Marija Popa is, she's the Black Widow. She is kind of pulling her team in, manipulating. She always looks striking. She has jewels. She has the wherewithal to pull the wool over people's eyes. And it is up to the team to know what is right and what is wrong. The author has cherry-picked various aspects and foibles of dictators over the decades. For example, where they will live in Yanussia is called the Lair, so I guess that's taken from the Wolf's Lair, Hitler's own personal East Front lodging. She also describes how the citizens of Yanussia have been very keen to spy on each other, which presumably was inspired by the Stasi events in East Berlin. She looks at the Ceausescus. She looks at Mao's widow and what role she played. And so, it's interesting to tie all this up. And I think, history determines who we are as a people. And I think if we ignore history these days, given what is happening around the world, then I think, we are going to end up in some very deep water. So it's very much a novel of our time. And I think really this is a good novel to pick up to, understand how people can be manipulated. Eventually, does Maria get off or not? That is to be seen. You'll need to get the book.